Clueless is a mid-90s classic that had fans flocking to the stores for knee-highs and Mary Janes. The romantic comedy featured Alicia Silverstone as the ringleader of a quirky, girl-fronted clique where malls are as holy as church, and catchphrases are ordinary parlance.
Ugh, as if!
Nowadays, the movie stands out as a relic of the era for its clothes and slang, but there are still plenty of things that you'll only notice about the film by watching through a modern lens. Here's what you might not have noticed about Clueless before. The Bechdel Test. Even though Cher might be a touch superficial, Clueless still passes the Bechdel test with flying colors. That means that at least two female characters in the movie with names talk to each other about something other than men, and it happens quite a bit in the movie. Cher talks to Miss Geist about grades and a disaster relief effort. Cher and Dion talk to Ty about getting a makeover and often talk about style and grades with each other as well. Then there's the scene where Cher and Ty make up after a fight. Considering how few movies actually meet this standard, Clueless was a bit ahead of its time, but there were also some aspects of the movie that are now pretty cringeworthy too. Toxic relationship. One of the more unpleasant things you notice about Clueless as an adult is how much of a dirtbag Murray really is, especially to Dion.
He is so possessive.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Because of him, their relationship is unhealthy to the point of toxicity, even abuse. He pages her all the time, obsessively worried that she's jeeping on him when he's the one who's probably unfaithful.
Perhaps you can explain how this cheap Kmart hair extension got into the backseat of your car.
He also calls her woman repeatedly even though she hates it and constantly tells him to stop. Then he full-on blames her anger on her period, which is pure misogynist nonsense.
Is it that time of the month again?
Clearly he doesn't respect women, but Cher views it a little more simply.
I think they've seen that Ike and Tina Turner movie just too many times.
Tired stereotypes. While Clueless was relatively progressive in that there was a fully developed gay character, there are some glaring LGBT stereotypes in the film. For example, Miss Stoger, the PE teacher, is portrayed as a man-hating butch gym instructor.
And in the grand tradition of PE teachers, Miss Stoger seemed to be same-sex oriented.
Cher is only able to get her to change her grade up by telling her that an evil male broke her heart. Miss Stoger responds sympathetically, calling men horrible and saying,
"Don't feel bad, I know, and you see they're all like this."
Then there's the issue of Christian, one of the major characters, who's a stereotypical gay man with his fashion sensibility, dancing skills, art literacy, and good physique. He's even shown reading a copy of Junkie by William Burroughs, a gay literary icon, in class. And although the movie's central cast is much more diverse than many of its contemporaries, Clueless still struggles with social gaffes. Consider the depiction of the Persian Mafia, a group of Iranian boys wearing dark clothing and sunglasses. Cher points them out to Ty by singling out their ethnicity. Then there's Lucy, Cher's maid. She is not well developed as a character, and what time is spent discussing her ethnicity only comes along as Cher mistakes her for Mexican when she's from El Salvador.
I'm not a Mexican.
She doesn't get many lines, and to make matters worse, Cher considers giving her secondhand expensive outfits as charity. Sensitivity training needed. Elton constantly ignores Cher's boundaries, literally grabbing and kissing her in the classroom not once, but twice. Then he deliberately drops the card when they play Suck and Blow in an attempt to kiss her. Later, while driving her home, he pulls over and tries to kiss her yet again. She pushes him off a few times before he gets the memo that she wants him to stop, and eventually has to get out of the vehicle to stop the harassment. Making matters worse, her punishment for thwarting an assault is being robbed at gunpoint. Eating disorder. Another irksome element of the movie is how frequently Cher and her friends obsess about their bodies and how much they eat.
I feel like such a heifer. I had 2 bowls of Special K, 3 pieces of turkey bacon, a handful of popcorn, 5 peanut butter M&Ms, and like 3 pieces of licorice.
Then she laments that her PE class is hardly aerobically effective, and she also obsesses about food being fat-free, and tells Dion that if you cut your food into smaller pieces, it will help you lose more weight. Then she forces Ty to work out as a part of her makeover, until Ty issues a mea culpa and refuses to do any more activity. For extracurricular reading, she selects the title Fit or Fat. Finally, she says she feels like Ralphing because she had 2 mochachinos, which is hardly a binge worth lamenting. Her constant obsession with food is not healthy for her body or her mind. Thanks for watching. Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.